Well, if you've been hyped about the Samsung Galaxy S26 series, specifically the camera upgrades on the S26 Pro and the S26 Ultra, then you need to brace yourselves. Because the latest report from the depths of the Korean supply chain is in, and it confirms the final details on camera specs. And guys, for the most part, it's a shocker. We've been hearing a ton of whispers, right? New names, new hardware, but here's the cold, hard truth. A ton of the key components for these phones are already heading into mass production, which means what you see is what you get. Let's start with the one that confused everyone, the Galaxy S26 Pro. Why is it even called Pro if it's replacing the vanilla S25? Well, buckle up. The rumor points to a camera system identical to its predecessor, a 50-megapixel main lens, 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto. Even the selfie camera is the same 12-megapixel. Now, for the king, the Galaxy S26 Ultra, I know you were expecting a revolution here. A new massive sensor, maybe 10x zoom back in a big way. Nope, the leaks suggest the exact same quad camera setup as the S25 Ultra. 200-megapixel main, 50-megapixel ultra-wide, plus the two telephoto lenses, 50 and 10 megapixel. Even the 12-megapixel front camera stays put. This is the first time in years the Ultra flagship has shown this level of camera hardware stagnation. But wait, there is one small beacon of hope, and it comes from the new middle child, the Galaxy S26 Edge. The Galaxy S26 Edge, which is essentially replacing the Plus model, is getting one solid upgrade. It's ditching the old 12-megapixel ultra-wide for a beefy 50-megapixel ultra-wide. That is a massive jump, and it finally makes the ultra-wide on that model worthy of a flagship name. The bad news for the Edge? No telephoto lens. We were hoping for a triple camera system to justify its higher tier, but it seems Samsung is sticking with the 200-megapixel main and the new 50-megapixel ultra-wide. Okay, before you smash that dislike button and write off the S26 series entirely, remember one critical thing. Megapixels are not everything. We are talking about raw spec numbers here. Samsung can and almost certainly will deliver real-world photography improvements in two major ways. First, software optimization. Every single year, new Galaxy phones drop with better AI processing, smarter scene detection, and better low-light algorithms. That's a guaranteed boost. Second, and more importantly, new sensors. The big word is that the S26 Pro will swap out its older 50-megapixel sensor for a brand new one while keeping the 50-megapixel count. This might be the only true justification for the Pro name. And while it's less likely for the Ultra now, we're still months away, and internal tweaks like a wider aperture or better lens tech can make a massive difference without changing the megapixel number. So, while the headlines look disappointing, the engine behind the camera might still be getting an upgrade. Even if the camera department feels a little samey, should you still be excited about the Galaxy S26 family? I say cautiously yes. We're getting other solid rumored changes. The S26 Ultra is apparently getting a subtle redesign with more rounded corners, a move some of you will love and some of you will hate, but it is an attempt at something new. We're also hearing about a very intriguing new privacy display feature, which sounds like an amazing security upgrade. And the S26 Edge is rumored to finally get a much-needed bump in its battery capacity. So, what's the takeaway? The Galaxy S26 Pro and Ultra's core camera specs appear to be locked in, and they are strikingly similar to their predecessors. It's disappointing on paper, but we're holding out hope for major leaps in sensor technology and software. The S26 Edge, on the other hand, is getting the real spec bump glow-up with that 50-megapixel ultra-wide. What do you think of these finalized specs? Are you holding out hope for a software miracle? Or are you feeling let down by the lack of megapixels? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this news useful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest tech scoops.